Okay, this is geometry solutions for assignment 12.5. Keep in mind there's one equation you can be using for writing the equation of a circle in standard form. And you're looking at this idea of x minus h, quantity squared, plus y minus k, quantity squared, equal r squared. Now, when I do this, I've got x minus 2 squared plus y minus a negative, so it's plus 8 quantity squared, and then 9 times 9, because that's r squared, which is 81. And I'm just plugging things into an equation, okay? And in 2, same idea. That's all I'm going to do on these. I've got x minus 0 squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equal 49. That's 7 times 7. Keeping in mind that 0 right here, boy, you know, that doesn't do anything with the x, so it really becomes x squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equal 49. Last one here, it looks really nasty and horrible, but I'm just going through of x minus 0.2 quantity squared plus y minus 1.1 quantity squared equals 0.4 squared, which is 1.6. Okay, and it's 0.16, not point, should be 0.16. Okay, and what I want to make sure is when I do 4 squared, it's 16, but when I go 0.4 squared, I've got 2 digits past the decimal, and that my answer's got to have 2 digits past the decimal, and that's where I get those. So now in this next one, I've got x minus 5 quantity squared plus y plus 1 quantity squared equal 144. X plus 6 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equals 64. X plus 9 quantity squared plus y plus 4 quantity squared, and the square root of 5 squared is just 5. Center here at 0, 0, so I'm going to go x squared plus y squared equals 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. My center, x plus 4 quantity squared is equal to y, not equal to, x plus 4 quantity squared plus y squared is equal to 3 squared, which is 9. And I've got x plus 1 quantity squared plus y plus 1 quantity squared equal 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. Now in this next section, I'm going to be writing the equation from a picture. So first I got to get the center, and then I got the radius, and then I can write it. Okay, just make sure I get those points. Okay, my center for P is negative 4, 2. Please notice that it goes up by 2's. My radius is 2, 4. So my radius is equal to 4. So now x plus 4 quantity squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared equals 16. In Q, I go out to 4, down to 4. So I got positive 4, negative 4. My radius is 2. Okay, so now x minus 4 quantity squared plus y plus 4 quantity squared equals 4. Now in this next section, write the standard equation of a circle with the given center that passes through the given point. Well, I've got to find the radius, so I'll find radius. And if I keep in mind as I do this, my standard equation is this value, and I'm going to use those points. My center is always h and k, but this is going to be x and y, and I can use that, x and y, I can use that to plug in to find my radius. So if I have x minus, or plus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 6 quantity squared, and I'm going to find r, but keep in mind, I'm going to plug in -2 here for x, and 10 here because those are my values, -2 and positive 10, for my x and y. So here I have 0 plus 4 squared, so this is going to be 16 is my, remember that's radius squared. So 4 is my radius. Okay, so since my radius is 4, I can now write my equation. I'm just going to reorganize this stuff, and my equation becomes x plus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 6 quantity squared is equal to 16. So that's my equation I'm supposed to find, and that's how I find my radius. So let's find the radius again. I've got 0 is my x. So again, I'm using that equation. 0 is my x minus 1 squared plus 6 is my y minus 2 squared. And I'm looking for r squared. And this is going to be 1 squared, -1 squared, which is 1. And this is going to be 4 squared, which is 16. Okay, and that's going to be 17 is equal to r, the square root of 17. So now I write my equation. And I'm looking at x minus 1 quantity squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared equals 17, because that's the square root of 17 squared. Doing the same thing here. I'm talking about 1 minus 7. Okay, remember this is hk squared plus -6 minus a -2 squared. R squared. So this is 36 plus 16, which equals r is the square root of that. So I've got my 52, square root of 52. Okay. Now I'm not going to put that as a decimal. Keep in mind, r is square root of 52. Okay, when I'm working on that. So now I'm going to write my equation: x minus 7 quantity squared plus y plus 2 quantity squared equal 52. And that's my equation for that value. When we're running through there, that's my answer for that. My next one, all I'm doing is my center and my xy. Again, x is -5, my center, h is plus 10 squared, so I got 25 there, plus -5, 5 plus 5, it would be, squared. That's 100. So now I've got my r squared equal 125 equals r squared. And since I'm writing the equation, they don't even ask me to find my r. I'm just going to slide this over a little bit so I can get my equation in there. I've got my x minus my plus 10, because that's h squared, plus my y plus 5 squared is equal to 125. And that's my equation for my line. Do the same thing here. I've got 0, 0, so this is going to be interesting. My center squared, so I got 6 squared plus 5 squared, and r squared, because 0, 0, I'm not going to have anything there, so I got 36 plus 25. It's r squared, and that's 50, 61. Square root of 61 is r, but remember, r squared is 61. So now I've got x squared plus y squared is equal to 61 for my equation of my line there. Now I'll snuggle that in right there. My last one here, again, my center is -1, -4. My points are -4, and just to make sure you know where everything's coming from. My -4 is x plus 1 quantity squared. I get a 9. And then I've got plus my y is 0 plus a 4 quantity squared is plus 16. And my r squared is 25. Okay, so my radius is 5 here, but I'm asked to find the equation. Okay, so I'm going to write that equation. X plus 1 quantity squared plus y plus 4 quantity squared is equal to 25. And that's my equation. But that other work had to be used for me to find what's going on with my equation in standard form. This next one, I'm supposed to find the center and the radius. Center is the opposite of what's in there. So my center is 7, 5. My radius is the square root of 16. My radius is 4. The center here is the opposite of what's there. 3, 8. And my radius is 10. My center is the opposite that's there. My center is negative 4, 1. And my radius is 5. My center here, it's not there at all, so it's 0, 0. And my radius is equal to 6. My center here is 5, 7. And my radius is 9. My center here is negative 4, 9, and my radius is 12. Okay, so make sure you start recognizing it's just the opposite of the value that's there and able to find that center. Now in 24 through 29, every one of them stems around the idea of finding your center and working with your radius. So my center, 0, 0. My radius is 2. So my equation is x squared plus y squared equal 4, because remember, the standard form of the equation is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. So in 25, my center is 0, 0 again. My radius is 3. So I've got x squared plus y squared equal 9. My center here, it's changed. It's 0, 3. My radius is 2. And notice I'm checking to make sure the whole time that I'm going up by ones on my units. And now I've got x squared plus the quantity y minus 3 squared is equal to 4 from my equation. In 27, my center is 2, 0. My radius is 3. So I've got x minus 2 quantity squared plus y squared equals 9. Next, I'm looking at the center of 2, 2. My radius is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm looking at x minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared equals 16. My last one here, everything's going up by 1, so it's negative 1, my center. So I've got x plus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared. Remember, my radius here is 2, so that equals 4. So what is an equation of a circle with radius 16 and center at 2, negative 5? Remember, x minus 2 squared plus y plus 5 quantity squared equals 256. Okay, when I'm done. So that's what I'm looking for. And so it wouldn't be either one of those. It had to be one of these. And it's a minus 2. It's the opposite, so it's D. My last two problems here, because we were supposed to skip 33 to 36. Okay, my last two problems here involve two different ones in 31. In 31, I'm looking at a value of a secant and a secant coming together outside the circle. I want the angle value, x, and that secant is 1/2 big arc minus little arc. So I've got equals 1/2 of 80 minus 30. So it's going to be 25. 25 degrees is my x value. Okay? I lied. I hate it when I lie. It's not 25 degrees. I'm not thinking about this at all. You know, it is 25 degrees. Yeah, it's 50 and half of 50. So we're good. Don't even pay attention to my correction of myself. Okay, my next one after that is a chord. Two chords are crossing. Now, this isn't the chord for finding segment length. This is about angle length or angle measure. And this y value is the average of 80 and 70. So y is equal to 80 plus 70 divided by 2, which is just 75 degrees. In 32, it's a big minus little. Okay, so we're looking for A. Now I'm looking at big minus little, should be about 38 degrees, but we'll see how it comes out here. A is equal to 1/2 of my big minus little. That's what I'm using, because I got a tangent and a tangent, and this will totally work this way. Okay, 142 is going to be 58, 68, 70. I'm a little concerned about that. Let's just double check that. 142, 218. 76, good. Was 76. Okay. So half of that, and I'm supposed to go half of that, so let's kind of not make it so confusing looking when I'm writing it. Okay. So I'm going to half of 76 is going to give us a 38. That's what I expected it to be getting. So A is 38 degrees. Okay, that's the answers for 12.5. If you have any follow-up questions, see Mr. Bloom. Have a great day.